Yeah, dude. No,
What are you talking about?
People are gonna make up their own things,
Yep.
but it's like I've had a
Sorry, I
crazy
get
week.
angry.
No,
So-
no, no.
so- no, no,
I was
no,
getting
it's-
angry before
yeah.
this. Like, it was one of those weeks. I've kind of like let go of this job in some ways. Like, I've started to think about how I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit until it's time. It's comedy and acting is
until it's time. Yeah,
until it's time.
Yeah.
Right.
absolutely.
But at the same time, there's like a lot less. I realized this week it's impossible to do this job like fully. Like everything that they put on your plate, you can only do so much with the job.
Yeah,
like
it's overwhelming.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like not every paper is going to get signed. Not everything is going to be done. Like you're not going to get everything done that your administration is asking you to do.
Yeah.
The kids need, and so I'm just like, you know what? I'm doing the best I can while I'm here. And some stuff isn't going to get done. And if they have a problem with it,
Facts.
I can say everything that's been done to me that's not fair. And I like my admin. It's not really about the admin. It's more about the job itself.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at. It's
I'm
just,
blaming the
there's-
system.
It's
Yeah,
the system.
it's the system.
I like my admin. It's
Yeah.
not them, but it's like everything that the system has laid on me in education.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're lucky that I haven't quit.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
lucky that I haven't quit. That I haven't
Yep.
just drove my Mazda CX, whatever it is, CX-5
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
the lot.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah.
didn't drive my little lesbian hatchback SUV
Yeah.
off the lot,
Yeah.
peeling out.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
It'd be crazy if they could just tell you what you're about to experience. You see what I'm saying?
Well, then nobody would ever do it. They'd
Yep.
be like, yeah, you're gonna like probably your mental health is gonna
like it's gonna be really, really hard for you. Yeah,
It's gonna
You know
be
what I'm saying?
extremely hard.
Yeah.
How was your week though?
My week was cool. It was pretty busy, you know, because right now we're just kind of casting for all the plays.
Uh-huh.
So it's just been a lot with kids getting upset that they didn't get the part. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have to
So,
therapist them?
Yeah, we bring counselors sometimes, and
For
sometimes
real?
the teachers have to be the counselors too,
Uh-huh.
just to let the kids know, hey, this part wasn't for you. You know, we have other parts that could be available. You know, because the kids get super emotional, especially it could be all friends going out for a part, like for Sally, for instance. They all friends going out for Sally. They all want to support each other, but when they don't get it, they're emotional. And they're crying, I gotta go. Like, yeah, I did, I got it. But other girls like, oh my God, why I didn't get it? Why? So they're super emotional. So our instructors have to be a counselor too. Hey, it's gonna be okay. You know, this part wasn't meant for you, but it's a learning experience.
Well, it's their first
Yeah,
view into rejection,
absolutely.
which you have to have.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you have to have it over and over and over and over again.
absolutely.
And it's like when parents try to shield their kids from that, like the everybody gets a trophy people,
Absolutely.
you destroy your kid. You completely destroy and turn his brain and heart into mashed potatoes.
Yeah. But I think
Yeah.
some parents just don't support it at all. Like you were just saying, they just
Uh-huh.
they don't tell their kids like, hey, it's gonna be a next time. Work harder for the next time. It's a reason why you get this part. Look at it differently. Work hard, work differently. Or maybe that just wasn't for you. Some parents just like, hey, skip that stuff, forget it. You know.
Dude, the parents I've realized
Yeah.
don't have. There's a lot of parents that don't even know this. What we
Yeah.
just said about how life is rejection,
Yeah,
and you have to be able to get over that hump
absolutely.
and just keep doing it until you get it right.
Absolutely.
Like, there's just a lot of parents who don't even know that.
They
Like,
don't. Because
they don't.
their parents didn't teach them that. So they can't
Yeah.
teach their kids because their parents didn't do it.
They don't even know that that's like the secret sauce to success.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No one ever told them that.
Nah. I appreciate rejection. It just makes me work harder, you know,
Mhm.
especially with sports. We all start, well, I started in sports.
Dude, sports is the
Yeah.
best for teaching you that, man.
Absolutely. If
Yeah.
I didn't get that position I wanted, I'm like,
To
okay.
put every ounce of your hopes, your dreams, your
Mhm.
life, your love, all of your waking moments into something,
Yeah.
and it not working out, to
Yeah.
learn that at a young age.
Yeah.
But the people that learn the most are the ones that don't go, well, I'm just going to quit at everything. They just take everything that they learn and start applying it to something else. They stop. Because you never stop. You don't have a lot of quit in you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think I just grew up competitive. It was just in me. If I didn't get a part,
Same.
I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get it next time, or I'm gonna outwork this next person.
Yep.
He got the position I wanted, but I'm gonna outwork him, and I'm gonna compete with him every practice until I get that position. You
Dude,
know,
that
Yeah.
is the purpose of school,
Yeah.
in my opinion, what you just said.
Mhm.
Or one
The
of them,
purpose
yeah.
of school is to develop work ethic
Yeah,
and the ability to have like interpersonal skills with
Absolutely.
people. and to have work ethic. I believe that's everything.
You have
because
to.
there's kids that are terrible students, but then they learn some kind of a work ethic.
Absolutely.
Like that's the purpose of school.
Yeah.
It's not all the things. Yes, you will use a lot of different things and everything. And like you have to learn these topics, and it's kind of like you pick up some of it almost like osmosis. Like some of it, you know what I mean, sticks, some of it doesn't. But it's to really just develop like a work ethic.
So
I really
you have
believe that's what it
To
is.
add
You have
to
to.
what you're saying, right?
Mhm.
It really comes down to work ethic. You're right. Interpersonal communication, skills, and all that.
Yeah.
And then the last one, and I keep telling everybody this, it's just 100% true. It's not what you're learning that's the important thing. It's how you're learning how to think about things.
Yeah, you're learning how to think.
Yes.
And you look at the dunces who don't know how to think, and they're like ruining the earth.
Yeah.
Like,
Because, right? And I've told you guys this before, but it's like, really think about it. What is science teaching you? How to take something apart and examine how it works.
Yeah.
That's all science really is.
Mm-hmm.
Math is teaching you how to develop a logical way to solve any problem in your life,
Absolutely.
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
English, how to communicate from one person to the next in the written word and orally,
Mm-hmm.
right? And also to be able to take things around you and to infer meaning, whatever. And then history, learning about cause and effect
Absolutely.
and to build context,
Mm-hmm.
to ask questions. Why is something like this?
Yeah.
Well, you got to understand what went before it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so interesting too because it's like. But anyways, I sorry, I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to make sure that you.
Well, no, I got my point out. But the thing about me is, well, what made me competitive is just that my family was super competitive. You know what I'm saying? And so if I didn't
Uh-huh.
get a part, most kids would take it the wrong way. But if a kid teases you that you didn't get the part, or just kind of makes fun of you or tease you, it motivates me. Some kids don't like that. They
Well, some
feel
kids
horrible.
collapse.
Yeah, they collapse. But my family did it all the time. And when I got the part, I'll throw it back in their face. Like, you punk, you didn't get it. That's why I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But it's a part of life. You know what I'm saying? You got to enjoy it. Sometimes young kids don't enjoy it because it's the biggest fear in the world. Rejection is hard to overcome.
It is, and
Yeah.
you meet those adults who don't know how to hear no and don't know how to hear rejection. Have you ever dated a girl that can't hear no?
Yes.
Because she's been like
Coddled.
hot
Princess.
and coddled her whole life.
Yes.
And it's like, it's the most awful thing to deal with. That's why
Yes.
I've like any women like that like can't hear no or whatever. It's like you can date them for like a month,
Yeah.
maybe 2 months. Like once that like awful thing comes out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where it's like, did you ever see the movie The Faculty? That movie from the 90s?
I think so.
Yeah, it was like
Uh.
it was basically, anyways, the faculty turns into aliens, but it's like this disgusting thing pops out of the people, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And it's like an
wow.
alien, and I feel like that's sometimes adults who haven't learned rejection.
Absolutely.
This disgusting thing pops out of them,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, I don't want to be around you because you didn't learn this, and
Absolutely.
you still haven't learned it yet.
Not at all. And then some
And
people
it's such a
would never.
gross thing.
Yeah. Some people would never learn that because some kids are just spoiled too.
Dude, that's
They
the
get
worst
their
thing you
way.
can do for your kid.
If you spoil, some kids are so spoiled. If they don't get their way, they crying the whole time and losing their mind. I've seen
And
it.
then the parents cave into them, dude.
Yes.
They're like, dude, there was a kid, his parent would call the school
Yeah.
and say, hey, he's acting very crazy at home. Is there something you guys can do? They called the school, asking the school to discipline him.
Wow. That's horrible.
Guys, yeah, you wanted to go, sorry, the public has sued the schools into oblivion. We cannot actually
we can't
discipline.
do
We
anything.
can't even touch
you
a
can't do
kid.
anything.
We can
It's
give him a
on you.
test and we're going to pass him
Yeah.
anyways because it's K through 8.
Yeah, we were going to
And-
call you to discipline your child
Yeah.
because we can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, like learning that lesson,
Yeah.
it's like the most important thing is learning rejection. And when kids don't learn that, and it's like, it's weird because the public education system, parents, phone, everything's immediate gratification. Like
Absolutely.
as soon as a kid cries, it's like, you know, whenever you boil tea and there's a tea kettle that starts whistling, as soon as a kid does that, people are like, well, take it off of the stove. It's too hot for him. You know, like don't let him, you know, don't let him feel any pain. And it's like the thing that makes you great is pain.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like you have to have a certain level of pain
Pain
to
and
be
fear are the
shifted.
greatest
It's like a
motivators.
blacksmith, like forming something, you know what I mean? And like sticking it through the fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you haven't been through the fire, or if every time you were put in the fire as a kid, your parent yanks you out of the fire and is like, it's too hot for him. What you're doing is raising a pussy.
Yes. Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
Who will never do anything with their life.
Yes.
The
Well,
rounded shoulders and soft hand, man.
Always,
Yes,
always
or-
would get beat up.
No,
picked on.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Now these kids are super spoiled. You ever seen that kid in line crying because he wanted something from the shelf and his mom just gave it to him?
Yeah, she's like, fine, I don't want to deal with it. And
Just
some
take
parents
it.
just don't want to deal with it. So that's like the
and
iPad children.
then
you know?
and they don't realize the monster that they're creating.
Absolutely.
They could be creating the next Hitler. Before they can realize it. I hope not.
I was just
I
thinking.
hope no one is the next that. But my point being is, like, you're creating an evil person. And
You're
or
creating a very self-centered person.
a very self-centered person who will think that if they cry or complain, then they will be rewarded.
Yep.
And it's disgusting. And the parents do it, and the public school system does it, and they gaslight teachers who are against it. And then it's so much even so now to where, like, we're just being real on this podcast.
Absolutely.
But I think people can take it as negative. And there was a point where I said to Chris, I go, and I said it to you, I was like, dude, am I coming off as negative? Please tell me if I am. And Chris you said something that was very profound. You said, no, we're just reporting live from Vietnam and telling people what's really happening. It's like, yeah, I just saw a guy, his freaking arm blew off and he's got shrapnel all over the place.
Absolutely.
And it's like, that's all it is. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
To me, being negative, honestly, it's very different when it's not negative when you state an opinion and you're backing it up with evidence.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is not negative. Negative is the same thing of like someone that's like a hater.
Yeah.
Right? Meaning they just, that thing sucks, but they can't really articulate anything about it.
They don't want to make anything better. They're not action oriented.
Yeah. And the thing is, why would you even be considered negative unless you wanted something to change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to change it.
Yeah.
And if somebody asked me, what would you change about education? I could name 3 things off the top of my head.
I would just say consequences for behavior and academics.
Consequences for
That's it.
behavior.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
it.
And
absolutely.
maybe even like extra support in the classroom if you have like a gigantic thing.
Well, my first
Yeah.
thing was bring
That's
back because No Child Left Behind that's to stay in compliance with all this stuff. That's why all the kids get passed to the next grade. That's been the worst thing for our education.
Yeah, it's such
Absolutely.
a wacky rule.
That's
because
so crazy.
you
yo.
need to feel shame, dude.
Absolutely.
You need to feel shame by staying back in a class. Do you know what I mean?
You
Your
should.
parents need to know that they're also not doing their job, because we're not talking about like solving, doing calculus. A kid not being able to count to 10 because the parents aren't there. The parents aren't doing anything to help the kid.
They're not raising the
And
kids.
the kid doesn't come into with the behaviors that are needed. Guys, most of my students that walk into a 7th grade class are operating on a 3rd grade reading, writing, and math level.
I experienced that at my school
They
too.
don't know how to multiply. They don't know how to divide.
And you're not. People would say you're being mean by saying that because you're pointing it out. That's how loopy
No,
people are.
that-
No, I know that's not true,
Yeah,
but I'm
I
saying
know,
like,
yeah,
that's
you're
what
right.
people would say about
and then
you.
then they expect you to be teaching 7th grade. As I said, guys, if they have that many gaps, years, half of their school life, a gap, I'm speaking another language up there.
Dude,
Yeah.
100%. You're like
But-
being like flim flam, flim flam, flim flam. Like
That's
what they
exactly
hear.
what it sounds.
But it's weird because today I had a situation I told you guys about
Yeah.
before the podcast. I walked in on my first period today. Oh, shoot, we got to cut that.
What?
That first. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
that's
had a
it.
situation. I had a situation
Yeah.
in a class one time to where I walk in, and this is my 2nd year teaching right now, and I walk in and my classroom management skills are way better than they were last year.
Absolutely.
Like I know what I'm not going to say that I'm like an expert pro. I think I'm way ahead of a lot of teachers just because I've done comedy for so long.
Yeah, and you pledged too. You
Yeah,
pledged a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
That first year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you went
The
through
first
it.
year, I was like, I never pledged for fraternity. And it's like that's what our freaking school district is they
Absolutely.
pledge you.
Yeah.
When you become a teacher, they hit you with that pad on.
And then you get hazed.
Yeah.
And then you get hazed. I'm still getting hazed.
Facts.
Yeah, but anyways, my first year, they literally, if some kid was an ex-convict, if some kid was related to Jeffrey Dahmer, they gave him to me as the new teacher. They give you all the cannibals, all the psychopaths, all the murderers. They give that to the first year teacher.
Yeah.
The kid who has like skinned cats and taken pictures of it, that's going in your class. But
Exactly.
this year, I know what I'm doing a lot more, right? And so I walk in, and this is my first period, and I've learned this is a period that I was in. So I learned all my different periods. They were all good, you know? And I walk in, and there are kids wrestling. They're on the table. They have each other in headlocks. And it's been a struggle all year long. Like, I'm trying to get them to form a circle. They won't form a circle. Or when they do form a circle, they're trying to get in the cabinets. And they're just like so hyper. And I'm like,
oh my God,
this is not me as a teacher.
Yeah.
At this point, I go, I know that this is not me as a teacher. So I call, you know, I call some people that make the schedule at my school to help me out. And I call them in front of the class, and I go, look, this is not working for me.
Absolutely.
You need to get in here right now, because I don't know what to do with these kids anymore.
Absolutely.
And I just said that in front of the class, and then they get very quiet.
Yeah.
He walks in, and then he's like, let me take a few. Who would you say the 3, you know, troublemakers are? And so I tell them
in front of the kids?
In front of the kids. And I go, today, it changes every day. I go, you know those cups where they put the red ball underneath and it keeps switching?
Yeah.
I go, that's what the kids are like in here.
Okay.
And I go, it's a different troublemaker every day. I go, but today it's
whack-a-mole. Like,
it's whack-a-mole. I go, today it's those 3.
Yeah.
And then I just point, I go, him, and him. And then they take them outside. And then later, it's revealed to me that they have a thing at school called special day classes. And basically what that is they're kids, and they're still smart, but their behavior is so bad that they have to isolate them from the rest of the class. I think you're supposed to have 3 of those kids max in your class, maybe 4. It's like 3. I had 16.
Wow.
16 of them in there. And I'm like, oh, this is why they're rolling around on the ground.
Yeah.
And you have an illegal number of kids in my class that I'm not even supposed to have in there, mixed in with, you know, the
regular
14
kids.
other, the 14 other like gen ed, you know. And so it was just too much. And that's when I was like, dude, this is why teachers quit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're lobbing stuff on us that's not even legal.
Yeah,
I don't think.
No, and so what the reason why they're in your class is they're probably, they need an elective, but okay,
and don't put them all in mine, but put them in art and
like
the other stuff.
Yeah, you gotta you gotta move some kids around, right?
Absolutely.
And so
I like this person who told me.
Yeah,
he's a great dude, but it's
special day
like,
class for people that don't know, right? There's different levels of special education. Now, they've destroyed a lot of the special education classrooms.
And this was not moderate to severe. There was no...
Okay. They've closed a lot of them, and they've mainstreamed them. So if these kids are still in special day class, it's probably because of their behavior that they can't handle being in a general ed setting.
They can't. They're still in special day classes.
So
16.
That means that they can't even... Because they really would love to get rid of... LAUSD would love to get rid of all special day classes and mainstream everybody. The only thing that'll pull you out, like I said, is behavior, or if people are so incredibly low that you have to have them in a class of like 4 to 5 people, right? That's going to be like moderate to severe. But if you're mild to moderate, they're trying to push in. So these kids, man, yeah, that's what it is. And I don't know the specifics, so I'm just guessing. But it's probably because of their behavior, they can't handle a gen ed setting. And so what they do is those kids, now I would love to see some of the classifications too, right? And because when I first started, there was a label, dude, called ED, which sounds like erectile dysfunction, right?
It means emotionally disturbed.
It means
maybe the two are
emotionally disturbed. I remember the first time I heard that term, I said ED, and I giggled, but yeah. But then I heard emotionally disturbed. That was my first sub gig. Long term, if something went down, it was 8 kids in the classroom. They were let out for PE and one other time.
Dude, that was my first long-term sub too. It was moderate to severe. There was somebody that peed on napkins, and I had my lunch I had
Oh
my
my
lunch in the bag,
God.
and she took the pee napkins and put it in the bag with my lunch.
Yeah.
And then went and sat down, but she was nonverbal. So it was like, I was just like, it was one of those things I was like, that should have been my warning sign of teaching.
Wow.
And it's sad, dude. Like at that time, I was able to be more like empathetic and everything.
Yeah.
But then when it happens like day after day after day, and they lob so much of that on you, you're just like, dude, I'm just numb at this point.
They don't, with those type of kids, they don't have like a teacher in there to watch those kids.
Not in my classes.
So what
Most
should
of the
be
time,
what should be
yeah.
happening with his class, if you're going to put that many kids with IEPs,
Yeah.
there should be a sped teacher that's also
Facts.
pushing in. But what they do is that they only have the sped teachers pushing in to core classes, right? So they're not
Not
going to
electives.
not electives.
Which is
Oh,
wild
It's
too,
like
dude,
they
because
don't respect the
need
electives.
somebody there.
They don't respect the electives.
well, here's the thing. Band is an elective that's kind of like math or science. You have a
Yeah.
definitive thing that you're doing. You're playing tuba, you're playing this note, you're doing that. There's a definitive thing for them to do.
Yeah.
With theater, it's a little bit more,
It's a
do
group.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
Like,
for groups. Yeah.
it's a little bit more feely and
Yeah.
artistic, and it's not as defined. And no matter how good your rubric is or whatever, like it's still like, I'll give you an example. When kids get in class in theater, like middle schoolers at least, because they have so much energy, it turns into like a WWE event, like from the 90s, like
Facts.
the Attitude Era. Like kids start turning into Stone Cold Steve Austin
Mhm.
and The Rock.
Yeah.
Like, because what happens is it's like a Roman Coliseum. When they watch their friends go up, they're like, because they can't self-regulate because they're so excited
Absolutely.
to see themselves, and so it becomes crazy, and you constantly are playing Jerry Springer. Like the crowd is going nuts and everything over, you know what I mean, who your father is or whatever, and you're like, hey, stop.
Absolutely.
And you constantly playing like a daytime talk show host,
Mhm.
like trying to like, you have to calm everybody down after every scene. You have to like bring people back to homeostasis, and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's also
absolutely.
tough too. What I've learned, you want to have fun with the kids, right?
You do,
But you know what happens? You make a joke, and then your class goes off the rails. Like
It's not coming back.
it hits. You know, people are laughing, and then kids go, "Oh, joke time!" It's like immediately, boom, we're done, and then
It's like a full moon at the prison. As soon as you
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
joke,
they
they start
lose it.
banging their
Yeah.
chairs on the table and like howling at them.
and then it takes you another minute to calm them down, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, "I can't even make a joke."
I'm just not gonna smile anymore.
Yeah,
people
you
have
can't be
actually
cool.
said this.
Yeah.
People have walked into my classroom, all this district personnel and out of classroom. The one thing that they say is absolutely amazing compared to other classrooms. They go, your classroom management is unreal. And I want to look at them and I go, do you understand the stress
How much I have
that
to go through
it puts me under
to do it?
every day to get that? I have classes, guys. The PE bell, right, to get dressed is 5 minutes. So the regular bell rings and you can hear the PE bell from my classroom, right?
Yeah.
It takes kids sometimes 5 minutes to settle down to even walk into the classroom. You can hear the PE bell going off.
Wow.
We just lost 5 minutes. But I've said to them, I go, well, guess what? If I bring that energy into the classroom, we're not learning anyway. Now I got to deal with this in the classroom. Cool. We'll wait. You're not going to be learning anyway.
Yeah.
And then you have to do it. And then I have to bring kids in and out every day, dude. I'm bringing kids in and out. Not all my classes. But I go, but that's what it takes.
Yeah.
But if someone walked by.
How long did it take you to learn that?
At this school, it was something that I had to institute 100% with fidelity this year.
So
I
you
couldn't
feel
mess
like you
around.
really gotcha.
I never had to do that.
You
At
can't
the other
slip up.
school.
You couldn't slip up. You know,
And I
you know
can't
you can slip up.
change.
Yeah.
I can't. There's just certain things where I go, this will get a call home.
Yeah.
So if it gets a call home, I'm going. I'm not, or a text message. And you can't change anything.
You can't slip up at all.
Bro, a kid, his phone dropped out today. Now, the thing was, he wasn't on his phone, but his phone's supposed to be in his
And
thing.
you had to make an example.
Now, I want to say to the kid, I know you're not on your phone. Just go put it up there, right? But I said, all right, now you got to give it to me and collect it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so that the kids see this is what happens.
Yeah,
I can't even slip up. I can't even slip up.
You
Yeah.
can't, dude.
Because
You
I'm
have to
messed
be
up, yeah.
Old Testament, not New Testament.
Yeah.
Which sucks. You know
I
what I
know.
mean?
Yeah.
Like you're
Hey,
you're
New
you're
Testament
the,
will get you killed, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Jesus?
absolutely.
you
So
know,
yeah,
but
you
it's
can't give
like
in. Yeah,
it's with these kids, man. It just sucks. And the reason why you have to be that way is because they don't get it at home. To you,
100%.
to them, the second you start being like that, you're an authoritarian because at home they get to do whatever they want.
absolutely.
So here they're like, why is this jerk not letting me do what I do in the privacy of my own home?
Absolutely.
Well, you're not in the privacy of your own home. You're in public.
Yeah, we
and you
live
have to
in a
learn how to
And
behave.
society.
you got to
I'm
reteach
sorry.
them again. Yeah.
Yeah, and so not only that, you're like raising them, but it's like in 15-minute increments.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like, it's crazy, dude. And I feel like elementary is tough, but the ego is not as big yet.
Nah, middle
It's
school.
like
yeah.
middle school. It's like
You don't get the
have to-
confrontation usually.
you get the you have the confrontation. Kids will like kind of listen more in elementary.
They do. 7th, 8th graders, they don't listen. They're assholes.
6th graders will listen.
Yeah, 6th graders will listen. That's at my school.
6th graders do listen.
They listen. 5th graders will listen to. That's the age group I'm dealing with. 4th through 6.
4 through 6.
Yeah. So they listen. You know, especially if you give them example. And most of the time, if you don't raise your voice, but teach them at the same time, but hold it down, don't break. They'll listen to you the whole time. Most of the time with these kids, you can't break. Like Chris was saying, you got to go in there with how you feel, your character, what you want to get off, and stick to it. Don't ever break.
Yeah,
Because the
and
minute you
it's
break,
not even-
they go just take over you.
And
Yeah.
it's not even
Mhm.
looking like I'm, the drill instructor from Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
People would walk in and be like, he's so relaxed and all that. But it's like I'm still got to be militant. But I have to be militant at this school.
Do you
Dude.
smile?
Oh yeah, I smile.
Okay.
I mean,
But-
I joke around with them all the time, but that's part of my problem. But my classroom management skills are.
But I just stick to my guns. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
no, this. And
I don't think you have to be. Here's the thing. I'm joking.
You don't
around
have to be
saying you
like-
have to- I don't think that you have to be like this mean teacher.
give me,
I don't
give me
think,
your,
I don't
give
think
me your mean teacher face. Let's see it.
like.
You can't do it. You look kind of crazy, but
Damn, dude.
that.
If you stare into the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back at you.
No, I just stare at them, dude, and I will be like,
Yeah.
that's what I'll do.
Zoe, do
Yeah.
you have a mean teacher face?
Nah.
Yeah, mine's just
Yeah,
this.
so- just
But
like-
I'm really psycho, and I'll tell them that. I'll be like, you guys don't realize. I go, I joke around and everything. I go, but I'm legit insane.
Yeah.
And I'm not really. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you guys. I know how to cash a check. I don't eat people. You know what I mean? But it's like,
Absolutely.
I am crazy. There's something wrong with me for sure.
I like that you
yeah.
start quoting like
Yeah.
start quoting old movies. You ever dance with the devil?
Yeah, in the pale moonlight. And then they're like, what is that even? Where is that from? It's like, it's from a movie whenever I was a kid.
I mostly talk to kids like the big brother. Like, hey man, you gotta stop doing that. You know that's not right. Why'd
That's
you do
how
that?
I always
You know what I'm
try to
saying?
approach it.
I try to
Yeah.
approach it like that too. And the
Yeah.
thing is, dude, I give kids so many warnings before I turn into just an unlikable teacher.
Yeah,
And dude,
yeah.
the kids like me. They say hi to me. They're like, Mr. Jones.
No, you're like a
And-
person. Yeah.
And so they'll stick their head in the classroom and everything. But then it's like, and I like them too. But it's
Yeah.
like collectively, it's like Power Rangers whenever they would all morph up and turn into a giant.
Yeah.
They turn into one giant kid and start eating the classroom
Yeah.
collectively.
Have you ever found a kid in the classroom that actually did listen and you use that kid as an example to help you? Like, why don't you just talk to your peers, tell them to calm down, have a conversation with them?
Oh, have that. Like,
Yeah, have that kid that they respect, have a conversation with them. Most of the time that works with my school, where I get a good kid that really
Yeah, I
listens, they have a lot of respect for him. And I had that
It didn't work,
female, no, it did work.
I did.
Yeah. They say, hey, you guys need to stop it. You know, we're here for a reason. Let's have fun, but we got to pay attention to our teacher. You know, why are we acting stupid? That's so dumb. You're being dumb. You're being dumb. You're being dumb. You're being dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they feel stupid. Listen to that person, call them dumb. And they
Uh-huh.
actually listen. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna chill.
I think that might work more
Yeah.
at like younger, but like I'll give you an example. I did this project last year to where like I had all the kids make movies,
Yeah.
and then I put directors. I was having different directors, and there was this kid. He was like the cool guy at the school and everything.
Yeah.
And I go, you want to? That's the group that you want to try to direct.
Yeah.
And then I was like joking with him, and I go, you really want to try to direct that group? And he's like, yeah, no, I can totally. I got him under control. This dude was very smart, very well liked. The kids loved him.
Yeah.
He was the cool. He felt like he was like 4 grades above because he just had that
Cool.
evolved mindset.
Yeah.
And he was cool, calm, and collected.
Absolutely.
They did not listen to him. Like when he was like trying to direct him, and then he was like, "Guys!" and he just started screaming, and I was like, "Welcome to my world, buddy."
Yeah.
And then like finally, I was like, I had to like step in and like help him. But it's just like that middle school thing. It literally is like trying to take a cat on a walk.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They all have their own different personalities. And here's the thing: they do listen to me. I'm not trying to say that they don't, but it's just like the amount of like calming that I have to do in between each
Over and over
every time you
again.
bowl, the amount of time it takes to set the pins back up is just unreal.
Yeah, the amount of
because drama is fun and it is goofy and it is a silly class by definition.
yeah, and if people, I wish there was almost like a timer, right? And what I mean by that in the classroom, where it's called learning loss, and so every time that behavior, something pops off, kids are talking, they're off task, all this stuff. I would love to see, like, okay, say we have 30 kids in a class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have 55 minutes. So that comes out to what, like 175? Let's see. So 30 times 55. Yeah, 1,700 minutes total in each class if you have 30 kids. And then you start subtracting every time a kid's off task. How much, I wonder so from 1,700, I wonder how much actual learning is going on.
Oh, I thought you said, I wonder how much that would motivate them. And I'm like, not at all.
No, it wouldn't motivate them. But I would love for the public to see, like, hey, we didn't even need to be in there for 55 minutes if people could just focus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if people could focus, dude, the amount of time.
I'm guessing they're getting about a quarter of it.
Yeah.
Quarter to maybe a half.
Yeah.
20%.
20%.
Yeah.
Because
20%.
you got to think about it. Even if the kid is sitting there and you ever look at a kid and they're just like this.
Yes.
I actually prefer them to do that.
Well, prefer that instead of talking.
Yeah, instead of talking, I prefer a kid to be thinking about ducks in a superhero costume or whatever it is that he's thinking about than just talking. Like, just shut up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just let me teach.
Dude, like, you know what it is? It's like as a stand-up, you have hecklers that show up. I talked about this today in my teacher talk. It's like there's that one drunk heckler who has unprocessed trauma and it floats to the top of his brain. And then after he's had like his 4th Michelob Ultra, he's just like, yeah, and then just does that in the middle of your shit.
He's making pirate noises.
Yeah, he's making pirate noises or whatever. Crazy. He's like sexually harassing girls. And then you're just like, hey, shut up. And then like you say something witty, be like, you know, and then it just shuts him down, right?
Yeah.
But in middle school, they're all jacked up on Takis and energy drinks. You know what I mean? That's their bar food.
Absolutely.
And
attention.
And attention. And those are the hecklers. So unlike stand-up, teaching in some ways, I think is way harder than stand-up. I think stand-up's way easier.
No,
but
teaching's hard.
You're constantly having to do that. But instead of being able to roast that kid back because you get written up for your job, you can do it like kind of a little bit, but you have to be very coy about it. You can't directly be like, you can't respond to him like he's a heckler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a heckler, you're like...
Yeah, because you got to be respectful to the kid.
You got to be respectful to the kid, right? And I don't want to be mean to a kid anyways. Like, that's not my heart. Like, I don't want to be mean to a kid. But you try to shut that kid down, and then you go back to teaching a lesson plan. It's not stand-up comedy, so it's not as entertaining.
Yeah.
So it really is like dealing with hecklers in a bar setting.
Absolutely.
You know?
And with acting, they're always energy up all the time, so it's hard to bring them down when they're already there. Especially if they don't understand the exercise too. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
They just kind of go and lose their minds, you know. But I don't think the school system understands what you do and how hard it is. I don't think
I think they do. I think all the out of classroom.
I think drama is one of the hardest things to teach.
Yeah, it's hard, but I don't think the school system. I don't think the school system understands that.
No, they don't.
Drama is like
no.
dedication.
I'm going to go further.
Yeah.
No, I think that the school district and the people that are out of the classroom do know, and that's why they're not in the classroom. Anybody that tells you they got out of the classroom because of the behavior, guys.
Yes.
That's 100%
facts.
And you think of it, they got out of the classroom because of the behavior like years ago.
Yep.
And imagine it's only intensified. Like, and I know you
go look at a lot of people that are in out of classroom positions. They usually did their max time in the classroom. LAUSD
which
says
is 5.
You have to do a minimum of 5, and you'll see them As soon as they can, they get out of the classroom.
Wow.
Because it's easier for them to go to the little cocktail parties and
tell
shake
people to do
hands, make sure to bring a birthday gift to some other person that's high above them,
Absolutely.
right? And shake hands and all that. And so they get a fake position created for them.
Yeah.
They come in with their Starbucks.
Yeah.
And that is so much easier than having to deal with the kids. Dude,
I agree.
Dude, dealing with 30 kids
I
in
agree.
2025, even when I just put it on paper, I'm like, oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Every person. And then, but they never want to say the obvious. I've only had one principal ever tell me the truth. They're like, I couldn't handle the kids.
Yeah.
Right? I needed to get out. It's better for them and me.
Yeah, our dean at our school was like, I just want to get out of the classroom.
Yeah.
She told me, she was just straight up.
But they'll always say something like, I love this one. I just feel that with the gifts that I'm given, I wanted to make a greater. I'm like, you went into politician mode.
Dude,
Stop it.
You know what I hate too? The only people who attack us on our videos are either nincompoop parents or people who are like above us, like administration.
Yeah,
administration. I got attacked by some girl that was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy is a teacher. Be like, somebody needs to get him out of the classroom ASAP. And then I clicked on her profile and she was writing a book about like social emotional learning.
Oh my God.
And then she was like administration. Then I'm like, of course you are.
The person that's the thing so you couldn't, if you were in the classroom, you got out. That's another thing that they love to do. They love to write books and then turn around and sell that book to the district. Social emotional learning, culturally responsive pedagogy. And then that's the crap that you have to sit and listen to.
I feel like I can't even read that in my regular voice. I feel like I have to be like culturally responsive pedagogy.
And then they give you the book. You know what I do with the book? I just throw it away.
Yeah. See, what makes me mad about that is that they're not in the grind with you guys. They're not in there. They're not even asking you what's going on because they're not in it. They haven't been in it for a long time.
You ever go back to Chicago?
Yeah.
And then you talk to people about like, because we're all comedians and actors. Like when you go back to Chicago and you talk to somebody about acting and they're like, oh man, Zoe, like you got to put me in a movie, man. You got to put me in a movie. Like, dude, I can act.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, show me to act right now. Oh, I can't do it right now. You know,
absolutely.
It's like, it's the same type of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're scared and you're doing the political thing like to save face, but you're not. Your ass isn't on the line.
Absolutely.
Like that. You know? And I don't know what administration does. Like, I'm not saying
I know I
don't know what they do.
I think they're not connected to the teachers. They're trying to tell you, but if you're not connected to the teachers, you can't tell anybody what to do or what they should do.
Dude, they're
if you're not in the grind.
Here ready?
Yeah.
But that's why my admin's cool. They leave me alone. So
that's the thing. All I want.
But most of admin I've met out there,
do
not leave me alone.
How about
including
this?
Online.
This is all I ask. My classroom management is on point. So if I come to you with a problem, I have literally exhausted everything.
Facts.
I need you to do, because the reason why they don't want to do anything for you is because they know that you'll they're afraid that you'll come with them with a problem that you could have solved later on. No. Here's the deal. I'll come to you maybe once a year.
I never bother them.
Or maybe not even once a year. I've gone to admin twice in 3 years.
Yeah.
So if I'm coming to you, get this handled.
Yeah.
It's out of my control.
Yeah.
Right?
Out of respect. Yeah.
Yeah. And then and I look at it and I'm just like, so that's why people end up leaving, because they're just like, well, there's nothing that they're going to do. And so why am I here?
Facts.
I mean, yeah, dude, it's one of those things to where, like, I even told my girlfriend today, I was like, about the situation that I was telling you guys about. And I was like, yeah, that's just like beyond my pay grade. And she's like, it makes me mad for you.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those things where I was telling her, I go, the reason why, because she was like, why are you working so hard in stand up right now and the podcast right now? She's like, I support you. She goes, but you have so much on your plate with teaching. She goes, why don't you just pause it for like 6 months, finish all this stuff up? She goes, because I'm seeing that like you have no free time. You're always busy. You're always stressed. And what she's saying, it makes sense on paper. But I told her, I go, look, if I slow down comedy right now, I go, it will reset the ball on everything that I've been doing. Yeah. And I go, and I don't want to be teaching in 5 years. So I have to keep doing that while I'm doing this.
Absolutely.
And it sucks, but I don't want to be teaching in 5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be teaching in 5 years. I don't want to be teaching in 5 years. And I just got into it, which is funny.
Well, dude,
Because it's like, can't do this for much longer. It's like, dude, you've been doing it for a year and some change.
hey man, I did something today I haven't done in 12 years.
What's
Ready?
that?
Guys,
What
I
was it?
went to the Comedy Store. So you want to talk about like doing stuff that you know that may make you stressed or feel uncomfortable or whatever. It's the first time I've been there in 12 years. And I went, I should have never stopped coming because it's one of the things that you need to do,
Absolutely.
like the Comedy Store, the Laugh Factory, the
Hanging out.
Improv,
Yeah.
hanging out,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I didn't even sign up for the mic. I just watched.
There you go.
And then I saw a bunch of people that I hadn't seen in a while. But you go, yeah, you're right, man. It's like, I can't stop this. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm literally, bro, a teacher talk Monday. Matt and I were chatting about this. In 8.5 months combined between us, we've probably missed 10 teacher talks or less. And you go, it's that consistency. And
Absolutely.
I can't stop doing this because number one,
Because, dude, we've already built up. Like, if we took like 2 weeks off what we
Wow.
were doing,
It hurt.
I feel awful.
yeah, I would feel terrible. It's just like we don't stop until we have a ton of money in the bank. And even then, we keep doing
I
it
don't want to stop until like the world, honestly.
till the world ends, till
Th-
Jesus
that-
comes
well,
back.
No, I want everyone to know the truth about public education and what it's really like.
Yeah,
And then to
me too.
stop, you go, it's like you totally gutted the public school systems through lawsuits. Then you turn around and you blame teachers.
Absolutely.
Dude, I told you about when my first year there, they're like, hey, we're going to put this girl in your class. This girl pepper sprayed. She doesn't go to the school anymore. She pepper sprayed a student, and there was literally a chopper flying above
For
the school
that?
because she called the cops, and there was this whole ordeal and everything. And then they put her in my classroom in the first,
Wow.
and they're like, hey, you can't discipline her though. This was instructions. You can't discipline her because the guardian was trying to file a lawsuit against the school.
Makes
So
sense.
they put her in my
uncomfortable.
class. She's running across tables and stuff. And I'm a brand new teacher, like a few weeks in, and they're even saying like you can't discipline her though. So
That would stress me out.
Like so,
That would
the
stress
other
me
kids
out.
are emboldened. Why should they listen to me when I can't discipline
They're
her? So
watching
it's
that
like-
person do that.
Yeah.
They're going to
the
push.
kids were cool though,
Yeah.
dude. They were like, they felt bad for me. Actually, they're like, Mr. Jones, like, we're so sorry that you're dealing with this.
But usually it's
You know?
Yeah,
usually when
that's-
kids see
that's
a
so
kid
dope.
getting away with that much behavior, what it does is it takes the middle and allows them to get away with more. and
this
do
was a
stuff.
really good class though. Besides,
Oh, really?
you know,
That's-
like it was
so that's good.
emotionally intelligent. Yeah.
Really? So they just understood.
They just understood, yeah.
That's
And they like had my
good.
back, and I think they knew that I was like a brand new teacher. I mean, a lot of times kids wouldn't care, but yeah, dude, it's showing the public like what
Yeah.
this stuff is, dude.
Yeah.
Because I actually
Undervalued
want to
for
see
sure.
real change, you know. And that's the thing. If there isn't going to be real change, and this is the way you want it,
Blow it up.
no.
I sound like a joke. Blow it up.
Yeah.
Some people like to watch the world.
Some people like to
burn.
watch the world burn, Master Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if this is what it is, then I want everyone to understand what's going on.
Mhm.
So then you can go, okay, let's back off from teachers. Let's do all this. It's like, how can you blame a teacher that for a kid? Do you really think that a teacher is just sitting around? There's some that are doing nothing.
But dude, even okay.
It's so few and far between. But if a kid can't read, because okay, I'm going to say this real quick.
I
Ready?
want top of.
I had said to this today to a class. I go, you know what the difference is? I go, why I get frustrated, guys? I was talking to one class. Is I go, out in PE, if a kid doesn't want to run, they never blame the PE teacher. But when a kid, right, doesn't want to pick up a pencil, they blame the math teacher. And I go, what's the difference?
There is none.
There's
literally.
none.
There's
Yeah.
none.
But do you feel
Yeah.
like if some of these kids can't read and everything like that, is COVID still the reasoning? People always try to say COVID.
No,
something
dude,
now.
it
I
never.
think
That can't be the excuse anymore.
Bro, that was
right?
such a small snippet.
Yeah.
And the thing, bro, I hate that. It's just no one.
I definitely do think
Was there
it
loss
probably
learning? But-
messed with these kids' development though.
Not much. They're
You don't
children.
think
They
so?
bounce back, dude. They weren't even gone for that long. 1
Yeah,
year.
I know, but it's like 1 year. It's like
It's like a year and a
dog
half,
years.
actually.
You know what I mean?
Not even that, dude. It's less than that because we went in March. right? So you only had March. March was basically done anyway, right? April, May, and then school's over. So it was really 1 year. And but kids bounce back. They're resilient. People were using that more as an excuse.
Okay.
Because guess what, guys? I had to teach online. The kids that were showing up to the online courses were the same kids who were doing well in class. Guess what? LAUSD said you didn't have to show up to the Zoom. Guess what? I had, out of 24 kids, I would have 5 kids show up.
That's crazy.
And I'm teaching the same content. Guess what? Those kids didn't have any loss of learning.
Yeah. They're ready. Yeah.
They didn't.
It's just, dude, it really does.
But I do believe, yes, there was, but I think that people use it as a bigger excuse.
That's what I thought.
But the thing about it is, man, is this is what it boils back to, is like, you have to take ownership of your own life. Like, yes, it is parents. And yes, it's like there's parents, if you have good parents, if your parents teach you something, but there has to come a point to where like, you're like, you know what, I'm going to figure this out. And like, because I'm saying there's so many bad, crappy parents out there, but there has to be a point to where like those bad, crappy parents have to be like, hey, maybe I do better than my parents did.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to take like ownership at some point. You know what I mean? And I'm just thinking,
you're asking people who don't take ownership, and they're probably pushing 40 to take ownership.
I'm saying something has to change.
Do you think some parents are just stuck in their ways?
Because this is the thought that I was going to go for. I'm tired. It's been a rough day, so I forgot my original point. But my point was this. Like, people are always saying, well, we need to have better education. The school system needs to be better. The school system needs to teach people this. It needs to be, and yes, the curriculum should change. It'd be awesome if we had classes on goal setting, on, finances, on personal responsibility, all these things, like classes even on character, on how to have integrity. Like if you had like a class called integrity, like, and you literally just teach kids how to have integrity. Yes, all that stuff would be awesome. But at the same time, you can teach kids till they're blue in the face. And the school system could totally change. But if the parents suck, they're not even going to listen to the class on integrity. That's my point, kind of. Like, you could do this amazing curriculum, and yes, it would help some kids, but it's like, if parents aren't eventually going to teach, because dude, I'm teaching them these things in drama. They don't care what I teach in electives. I teach them like confidence. I'm like, I want you guys to be confident. I want you to be able to be who you really are. I tell them this stuff every day. I drill it into their head, but at the same time, it's lost on some, because it's just like, they don't care because their parents have taught them like, hey, there's no rules at our house. So why are they even going to be able to, it's not going to penetrate with some kids.
Nah, they're going to blow it out.
Guys,
So it's like,
so
I don't know.
I've been at this school before, ready? Where they gave every 6th grader a math intervention course to help improve end of the year test scores. So that means that one of their electives was taken up through a math intervention. So they were getting double math classes. And it was remedial work to get them up to grade level. How much do you think it improved the test scores?
None.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
None.
That's wild.
All that. You know why? Because no matter what you're doing as a teacher, if the other side isn't doing their part, nothing changes.
Well, dude, because you think of it this way, like it's.
Could you imagine that an entire year? And them looking at the scores at the end of the year going, it didn't matter. That means you can give as much intervention, English intervention, like ELA, right?
Yeah.
Or math intervention, whatever. And it's literally not changing a single thing.
Dude, that's why, okay, you're talking about like the day classes and stuff like that, people being put in separate, like kids being put in separate classes because like their behavior is so bad. The thing is there are kids that do want to learn and might not have like a great home life.
That's what it is.
But they actually want.
That's what it is.
But I'm saying there's kids in there that want to learn, but don't have a great home life.
But
But because you're putting all these other kids in there, they're now pulling those other kids that want to learn. Now nobody learns.
Absolutely.
And that's why there should be separate classes. And it's not because I dislike those kids. I don't dislike them. But it's just like, you're keeping the kid who wants to learn. You're holding him back just because you want to look politically correct on paper.
Absolutely, yeah.
You put that kid in a different class.
Absolutely.
Put him in a different class. He doesn't belong in the other classes. He needs
He's holding all the kids
special
back.
attention.
Yeah.
He needs to be in a smaller group of students so they can actually work with him and reach him. But he's fueled by all the other kids around him, and he's overstimulated. And you're not doing
Absolutely.
that kid a service
Absolutely.
by putting him in my class.
Yeah.
And now, because there's kids, dude, in that period that I was telling you about that really want to learn. But because these other kids, it's like they're pulling them back. And there was a girl today that was like, I really, really want to learn. And he's being loud. And it's like, there's nothing I can do because he's like that in all of his classes. He's not even supposed to be in my class.
So you gotta let him just be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll be like, stop.
Yeah.
And then I'll give him a report. I call their parents. It does nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
And everybody's just like, well, think about what's going
going
on
on
with them and everything. And
Well,
it's like, I'm not a therapist, dude. Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to teach. Like,
Yeah.
this kid's literally going, and it's like, there's nothing like, it's not because there's no mental handicap. It's just his behavior. He thinks it's funny.
That's
and then
so
he's like,
rough.
and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh gosh.
I agree. There's one class I remember having, ready, where there were 4 or 5 kids in the class that were incredible. But they were just surrounded by a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And you go, and these kids just, these kids, I'm not kidding you, these 5 kids, they learned in spite of, because I actually looked at them one time and almost
It's like studying with metal music.
Like, you got this.
almost pulled them to the side and said, please go to your counselor
Mm-hmm.
and get yourself in another one of my classes, because you guys don't deserve to be subjected to
The whole time. Yeah.
all the time.
Dude, it's so obnoxious. And it's just
It's
like,
tough. It's tough on kids, man. Even the ones that really want to learn, it's tough on them too. But what's the solution? Because the parents are not gonna do anything. Like, what's the biggest solution to solve that problem?
I think putting them in separate classes.
Separate classes.
In like, so like, here's the thing. They're saying that like, that's not a fair and equitable education to put them in separate classes, because the fear is they fear that those kids will be othered, right? That they're like, oh, I have to go to the special ed wing. I'm different. And I get that.
Maybe
I
not a
get,
special ed wing, but I know what you mean.
but like, yeah, like if they're
Different
going to
class.
these separate classes, and you know what, dude? Before I was teaching, I would have thought that too. I'd been like, no, I totally get it. Like, I don't want those kids to feel othered. Let them learn with all the other kids.
Yeah.
I would, because I'm that type of person that thinks that way. I naturally like want to help people.
Excel.
I don't want anybody to feel othered outside because maybe they have a learning disability. Maybe like it could be a multitude of things, right? But then I started teaching, and then I started seeing that some of these kids, you're actually doing them a disservice by just putting them in gen ed classes, because not only are they not paying attention to the gen ed teacher cannot give them the attention that they need to scaffold, that dumb education word, differentiated teaching.
That means differentiate means that you're reaching everybody at their level.
So you're teaching to every single person. That's what they expect you to do. And so
Yeah.
what I try to do is I will go around the room and I'll help, and I can maybe spend like 3 minutes with that kid. But if I'm only focused on him, what happens is every other kid in the classroom starts acting up and acting crazy.
Mhm.
So what happens is the teachers don't have the resources. So you're like, dude, you got to put these kids in a separate class. And then the teacher can work with the smaller group and work with them and give them the education that they claim that they want, which is like fair and equitable or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they're actually able to teach them, because in the general classes, you can't do that. And sometimes it's not even an intelligence thing. It's just behavior or
Absolutely.
emotionally disturbed or whatever. But now what's happening is this kid's being loud. You're telling them to sit down. You're telling them to do this. It doesn't work. And then you have like the people are just like, well, what's he got going on at home? And it's like, well, what do I got going on at home?
Yeah. What about me? Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you go figure out what he's got at home?
Exactly.
Why don't you go figure out?
Dude, I don't have time.
Yeah, you do
to do
all this.
Freud's couch in the middle of my classroom while there's some kid like hanging from a cabinet.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like just like kicking the window or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think they need to be put in separate classrooms if they have a behavior problem. So behavior, when I was in high school, it was called BD, behavior disorder.
Yeah.
Like BD. And so it's like, if that kid needs to be in that, that's what he needs to be in. And it's sad, but he's never going to be rehabilitated unless you give him the education that he needs, which is catered to him. And then people will be like, well, you're not a good teacher if you're not doing that. And it's like, dude, there's only so much I can do with 30 something kids. It's like, leave me alone.
I'm a security guard or I'm a teacher. Your choice.
Yeah, dude.
And just don't hold me accountable for end of the year test scores if you made me a security guard.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so worked up, because today I was like a security guard.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
You know, I'm like,
dude, we just ranted. That was a good rant, man. We're up to 62 minutes on this thing.
Oh, it's time to wrap it up.
Man.
All right, y'all. Sorry.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening. This is us
listening.
venting.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Bye.